This is Part 2, Episode 116. Inside the inner valley of the Soul Refining Tribe, Wang Lin touched his bag of holding and a ball of restrictions suddenly flew out. He sent out a seal at the ball of restrictions and then it suddenly enlarged and opened like a flower blooming. Inside, Yao Shishue was sitting in the lotus position and her face was deathly pale. The life seal placed on her forehead continued to flash. Every time it flashed, it would send a bit of life force into her body to prevent her from dying. Yao Shishue opened her eyes and gave Wang Lin a vicious stare. Her hatred for Wang Lin was endless. Wang Lin completely ignored Yao Shishue's gaze as he calmly said, "Fellow cultivator Yao, have you considered my proposal from last time?" Yao Shishue clenched her teeth. She couldn't feel the passage of time inside this restriction, which made a feeling of helplessness arise in her heart. Although it has only been a bit over a year on the outside, for her, it felt like an eternity. Wang Lin looked at Yao Shishue and softly said, "My patience has its limits, so I'll only give you 3 chances. This time you can choose not to answer again, but next time will be the 3rd time. If you still don't wish to answer, then we will never meet again. Are you not afraid of my father hunting you down?" Yao Shishue clenched her first. Wang Lin faintly smiled and nodded. "I'm afraid. The blood ancestor's cultivation is far above mine. If I'm hunted by him, I'm afraid I won't even have the chance to escape with my low cultivation. However, I was forced into this situation. If it wasn't for you scheming against me, I would not have plotted against you. Everything has a cause and effect. If I let you go, I will still offend the blood ancestor, but if I keep you at hand, I might have a chance to live." Yao Shishue quickly said, "If you let me go, I'll swear to never tell my father about it and the grudge between us will be cleared." Wang Lin carefully looked at Yao Shishue and said, "I don't believe you." "You?" Yao Shishue took a deep breath and said, "What do you want?" Wang Lin said, "Follow my rule, answer one of my questions, and I'll decrease the amount of time I seal you for by 50 years. Yao Shishue lowered her head. Her eyes showed signs of struggle. Wang Lin patiently looked at her. Half an incense stick of time later, she raised her head and coldly said, "Even if you seal me with my father's ability, he will still find me. At that time, I'll personally see my father destroy your body, extract your soul, and lock it in the nether place. At that time, you will know what it means to be better off dead than alive." Wang Lin let out a sigh and said, "You wasted your second chance. I hope you will treasure the next time." With that, his eyes lit up and he took a step forward. He arrived before Yao Shishue, grabbed her jaw, and with a little force, forced her little mouth open. Yao Shishue's face was completely pale. She wanted to struggle, but her body had no strength. Wang Lin revealed a smile that was not a smile as he inserted 2 fingers into Yao Shishue's mouth. When he withdrew his hand, there was a red needle between his fingers. You use trace amounts of essence from inside your body to form this needle. If given enough time, you might really be able to use this needle to block the life seal and die within this restriction. With that, Wang Lin crushed the needle, causing it to dissipate in a cloud of red mist. Yao Shishue's body trembled. Her gaze toward Wang Lin could no longer be described as vicious. Yao Shishue took a deep breath, then a rare trace of clarity appeared in her eyes and she softly said, "Wang Lin, if there is a day I escape, I'll use any means to torture you in the most cruel way." At this moment, it was as if there was an invisible force working on Yao Shishue's body. It was slowly condensing all her hatred for Wang Lin and gradually changing it to break open the void. Wang Lin faintly smiled and said, "It looks like there are too few restrictions on your body." He waved his right hand, and with a gentle breeze, Yao Shishue's clothes were blown away, revealing her voluptuous body. Wang Lin carefully examined her body. Yao Shishue's eyes still maintained the clarity she had before, but Wang Lin could see that it was starting to dissipate. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as his right hand reached out and poked several places on her body. Every location he poked was a sensitive spot for Yao Shishue. Every time his finger landed, he sent a trace of celestial spiritual energy into her body. Yao Shishue's body slowly turned red, and the clarity in her eyes disappeared and was replaced by endless humiliation and hostility once more. Yao Shishue's malice had reached its limit, and she hysterically shrieked, "Wang Lin, you are despicable, shameless. Yao Shishue, will never forgive you." Wang Lin let out a sigh of relief. This Yao Shishue's talent was indeed amazing. At that moment, she was going to turn her incredible hatred for him into a type of understanding. To enter the Tao through hatred, that was where that clarity from her eyes came from. If she was successful, then he wouldn't be able to seal her with just the life seal. That was why Wang Lin removed her clothes, stimulated her body with celestial spiritual energy until the clarity in her eyes disappeared, and destroyed the state she had just entered. Wang Lin softly said, "There are too few seals on you." His hands moved, creating countless restrictions that landed on Yao Shishue's body. Wang Lin's restrictions mercilessly created a cycle on her sensitive spots. As a result, that kind of stimulation from before would constantly be invading her body. This was the only way to keep her from regaining her clarity and have that kind of enlightenment like before. After doing all of this, Wang Lin pointed at her and the restrictions that had opened up immediately began to close. They turned back into a ball again and Wang Lin put it away inside his bag of holding. The blood ancestor's data is a problem. The only way to deal with her is to find a secret place to seal her. However, I must get all the secrets out of her first. If my cultivation reaches the ascendant stage, I can just use the soul search spell. If I were to use it now, a slight mistake might kill her and leave a lot of problems in the future. Time passed and more than 2 months quickly went by. There were only a few days until his promise with the demon general. On this day, Wang Lin walked out of the valley with Ouyang Hua behind him. Wang Lin slowly said, "After I leave, dispatch hundreds of people to the surrounding tribes regardless of their size. Use any method necessary to integrate into the other tribes. Use the soul fragments to resist the various memory-wiping potions the tribes have. Once inside, begin teaching them the soul refining spell so more people can learn them. As for the specifics, I'll let you arrange them yourself." Ouyang Hua softly responded in agreement. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin took out a piece of jade. He handed it to Ouyang Hua and said, "The soul refining spell actually has 2 parts. The first part is soul refining and the second part is soul extracting. This can't be taught to anyone who isn't a core disciple. Remember it well." Ouyang Hua took a deep breath as he accepted the jade with care. After reading it, he crushed it and said, in a serious tone, "Ancestor, I have memorized it and will not forget Ancestor's words. This spell will only be taught to the core disciples of the soul refining tribe." Wang Lin nodded and his hand reached toward the sky. All of the black fog over the soul refining tribe immediately gathered in his hand, forming a 30-foot-long flag. Then he quickly swallowed it with his origin soul. Then he took out several normal soul flags and threw them into the sky, creating a black fog to cover the sky once more. After doing all of this, Wang Lin took a step forward and immediately disappeared. A voice came from far away into Ouyang Hua's ears. "When I return, I hope the tribe will have more than 1 million members." Ouyang knelt down on the ground and said, in a serious voice, "I won't disappoint the ancestor." Although those words were for Wang Lin, who was now far away, it was more so a commitment to himself. Wang Lin moved through the sky, creating a streak of light, and charged directly toward ancient demon city. I wonder what kinds of dragons and tigers are hidden at the Sky Demon Country's capital. There will be more people from planet Qianyun as well. I wonder if I'll meet any of them on this trip to the capital. There are also those 10 or so people from the Da Lu Sword sect. If I meet any of them, I must capture one and question them about Ju Yi's whereabouts." Wang Lin pondered, but his speed didn't slow down at all and he disappeared over the horizon. Demon General Mo Lehai was wearing a green shirt as he stood on top of the eastern gate of ancient demon city. Behind him were the chief commander and commanders. Mo Lehai looked into the distance and didn't say a word. After a long time, Mo Lehai withdrew his gaze and then turned around to carefully look at ancient demon city. In an instant, he saw the wreckage at the center of the city. Mo Lehai thought, "After I leave this time, I won't come back, and another demon general will take over the city, so that wreckage has nothing to do with me. It is a pity that 13 was taken away by Wang Lin. I was only able to refine 17 of my 18 demon body techniques. However, if Wang Lin truly tries to help me this time, I'm confident I can enter the top 3 in the Demon General competition. Then I'll obtain the qualification to enter the Demon Temple to cultivate, and once I come out, I'll be a Vice Commander-in-Chief. Mo Lehai took a deep breath. His eyes concentrated in the distance and he revealed a smile. This person is someone who won't go back on his word. Mo Lehai laughed and his voice spread out. Brother Wang, I'm here. Wang Lin appeared in the sky above the eastern gate. His eyes looked at the group before falling on Mo Lehai. I made Brother Mo wait. Wang Lin smiled. No problem. This trip is very important for me, so I'll be relying on Brother Wang. Mo Lehai took one step and appeared before Wang Lin. Wang Lin laughed. No problem. It will take 3 transfer arrays to reach the capital, so Brother Wang, let's go. 2 rays of red light flew across ancient Demon City and into the distance, leaving behind only thunderous echoes. Sky Demon City. It is located in the northern part of the Sky Demon country. Surrounding it are countless mountains intersecting with each other. If one looks from the sky, these mountains seem to form the shape of 9 dragons coiling around the city. The 9 dragon heads all point toward a secluded lake. It is called Dragon Lake. The holy symbol of the Sky Demon country, the ancient Demon Temple, is inside this Dragon Lake. Dragon Lake is heavily guarded. Sky Demon City is in front of Dragon Lake. To be more accurate, this city is formed by 9 cities with similar sizes to ancient Demon City. The 9 cities make an 8 divinatory trigram with the royal palace at the center. There is a river around the royal palace with 8 bridges linking to each of the 8 cities. The royal palace is where the demon emperor lives and is filled with exquisite pavilions. The other 8 cities are also distinct and have their own styles. It is early morning, and the entire Sky Demon City is shrouded by a faint, green mist that comes from the Dragon Mountain ranges. The demon emperor calls it dragon energy, and cultivating this energy can increase cultivation. The entire Sky Demon City is like a large monster. As the green mist slowly dissipates, the sounds of people waking up makes it look like the giant beast is slowly awakening as well. There are 18 transfer arrays outside of Sky Demon City, and they are guarded by demon soldiers year-round. Of these 18 transfer arrays, 8 of them are used by the civilians, such as merchants, to travel everywhere. The remaining 10 can only be used by those with high status. There is a very clear distinction between the classes. The 14th transfer array is for the Demon General's use only. Every time it activates, a Demon General appears. A Demon General is considered a powerhouse in Sky Demon City, one who controls a large amount of troops and amazing spells. At this moment, among the demon soldiers outside the 14th transfer array, there was clearly a demon soldier whose armor had more lines than the others. This soldier loosened his shoulders and put down his weapon. Then he took off his helmet, sat on it, turned around, and shouted, "Go, come here and massage my shoulders." After he shouted, one of the soldiers quickly ran out. He put on a smart face as he quickly got behind the person and began to massage. He asked, "Captain, is my strength good?" The captain moved his shoulders and smiled. "Yes, pretty good. Among you brats, you have the best control of strength." "Captain, normally this transfer array barely opens once a month. Why has it opened so much recently? It seems like a lot of demon generals are rushing here." Ago took his chance to ask the question that had been bothering him for a while. "Today my mood is good, so I'll tell you." As the captain said that, the guards all immediately closed in. Apparently they all wanted to know what was going on as well. "You guys are all new recruits from the last 100 years, so it is not strange you don't know about it. Every 300 years, there is a big competition between the demon generals, and the demon emperor personally attends it. The reward is sometimes demonic treasures or demonic spells. However, this time the competition has a completely different meaning. Because 200 years ago, we suffered heavy losses against the Fire Demon country, including 2 vice commander-in-chiefs. That is why the demon emperor will pick 2 new vice commander-in-chiefs in this competition." After this was said, all the surrounding demon soldiers' eyes widened and their faces were filled with shock. Although demon generals and vice commander-in-chiefs were only half a rank apart, the gap was almost impossible to cross. In the countless years that the Sky Demon country has existed, there have only been 8 commander-in-chiefs and 8 vice commander-in-chiefs, while there have been hundreds of demon generals. A so-called vice commander-in-chief is not the commander-in-chief's assistant but the person next in line for the commander-in-chief position. Only the vice commander-in-chief can challenge the commander-in-chief for the position. In the Sky Demon country, once the commander-in-chief dies, a vice commander-in-chief takes over. That is the first step to becoming a commander-in-chief, become a vice commander-in-chief. Looking at the shock on the surrounding demon soldiers' faces, the captain felt very proud. He let out a cough and said, "That is why the previously proud demon generals all came here." With how important this matter is, even those that originally didn't intend to participate are all coming as well. The 14th transfer array we guard is for demon generals only, that is why it has been so busy for the past several days. The demon soldier massaging his shoulders said, "Captain, which Lord Demon General do you think will win?" This is not easy to say. For someone to become a demon general, they must have powerful spells, but even spells have differences in strength. I believe that Lord Mo Fei, who holds the city next to the Fire Demon country, can enter the top 3. Also, there is the ancient demon city's Lord Mo Liahi. His cultivation is also considered high among demon generals. Just as the captain reached this point, his expression suddenly changed. He immediately stood up and the helmet flew into the air and landed on his head. Then his hand reached out and his weapon flew into his hand. He did this in almost an instant. The demon soldiers were all already accustomed to their captain's actions. Right now, even without his command, they were all standing straight and facing forward. Just at this moment, rings of light appeared above the transfer array, and there was a burst of demonic spiritual energy from it. Then 2 figures slowly appeared inside the transfer array, and just as they appeared, they each took a step forward. They both stepped out of the transfer array at the exact same time. Mo Lehai looked at the capital before him as he took a deep breath and said to the person behind him, "Brother Wang, it has been more than 30 years since I've returned to the capital." Wang Lin looked at the giant city before him. Although it was big, it was within Wang Lin's expectation. After all, this was the capital of Sky Demon country. "Greetings, General Mo." Just as the 2 stepped out, the demon soldiers outside immediately greeted them. Mo Lehai nodded slightly and smiled at Wang Lin. "Brother Wang, this way." With that, he took a step and quickly moved toward the western gate. Wang Lin quickly followed, and the 2 of them disappeared into the distance. After the 2 of them left, the captain let out a sigh of relief. The demon soldier next to him whispered, "Captain, who is that person the demon general brought with him?" During this time, many of the demon generals had brought strangers with them. The captain stared at the demon soldier and said, "The competition between the demon generals this time is very important to all the demon generals, so they would naturally seek aid. For this person to be chosen by General Mo, he must have something special about him, so you all best not think too much about it." He looked toward the direction where Wang Lin and Mo Lehai went and thought, that person was recognized by Mo Lehai and was brought along using this transfer array, so his cultivation must not be simple. Also, from how polite Mo Lehai was to him, this person is definitely not simple. Mo Lehai was a demon general, so the soldiers at the western gate were extremely respectful when they saw him. They led them into the city before respectfully going back to their post. Mo Lehai looked at Wang Lin and sincerely said, "Brother Wang, the various forces in Sky Demon City are very messy, especially with all the demon generals gathering. It would be best for you to not live in the city and instead come with me to my mansion. How about it?" There were 2 cities connected to the western gate. The first was Xian City, and the second was Hong City. Mo Lehai said, "Sky Demon City has a total of 8 outer cities, and those 8 outer cities are split into inner and outer rings. Sky, Earth, Xian, and Yellow are the 4 inner cities, while Universe, Eternity, Hong, and Desolate are the outer cities. The inner cities are for civilian court officials, and the outer cities are for military. There are also more differences based on one's status. I live in Hong City." Wang Lin pondered a bit and nodded. "I'll listen to Brother Mo." Mo Lehai faintly smiled and nodded at Wang Lin. He then walked forward, and 1,000 feet before them was a fork in the road. The left route led to Xian City and the right to Hong City. Wang Lin followed Mo Lehai's guidance and walked through the city. This Hong City was very prosperous with many shops and people. The streets were very lively as people came and went. The road was very wide, but the crowds were all concentrated in the two sides, leaving an opening 1/3 the size of the road in the middle. Standing in the middle would allow you to see the road going far into the distance. Mo Lehai saw Wang Lin's gaze fall on the opening, so he smiled and explained, "This road is a military road, so ordinary people are not allowed to walk there." Just at this moment, roars came from the military road in the distance, and soon, a group of black war horses quickly rushed over. Wang Lin spread out his divine sense and found 19 horses in total. There was a black armored soldier sitting on each of them with cultivations roughly matching soul formation cultivators. The demonic spiritual energy from their bodies were all fused together in a mysterious way. There was demonic spiritual energy swirling in the sky above them, and it formed a vague shadow of a giant beast. The 19 of them charged directly at Wang Lin and Mo Lehai. Wang Lin looked at Mo Lehai and found that although Mo Lehai's expression was serious, there was a hidden smile on his face. The 19 of them stopped about a dozen or so feet from them. Then they all got off their horses, took a step forward, kneeled down, and loudly said, "Greetings, General Mo." Mo Lehai laughed, then he waved his hand and said, "All of you, get up. This person is my good friend, Vice General Wang. In the future, when you see him, it is the same as meeting me." The 19 of them turned toward Wang Lin without any hesitation and said, "Greetings, Vice General Wang." Wang Lin nodded lightly. The voices of these 19 people and the scene they created drew everyone's attention. Their faces were filled with shock and they retreated far away. "Brother Wang, follow me to my mansion. I'll have people prepare fine wine for us, so let's have a drink." Mo Lehai jumped onto one of the war horses. Wang Lin also jumped on a war horse and laughed. "Is it good wine?" "Of course it is good wine." Mo Lehai and Wang Lin looked at each other before laughing. Then the two of them rode off together, neither in front nor behind the other. The 19 people and remaining 17 war horses followed them. As the group of people moved along the military road, there were suddenly sounds of horses from the distance. Mo Lehai's expression sank, and instead of slowing down, he moved even faster. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He saw an acquaintance. As the sounds of horses approached from the military road before them, a team of more than 10 war horses charged toward them. There were 2 people in front of this group of war horses. One of them was wearing blue armor, and he had purple, flowing hair that revealed his demonic face. His face was so handsome that there was a demonic feel to it. However, there was a scar on the right side of his face that completely destroyed his overall appearance. The aura of beauty disappeared and was replaced by a vicious and evil aura. There was a person sitting on the war horse beside the man with the scar. His face was thin and pale, but his eyes were bright. When he saw Wang Lin riding on the war horse, his eyes revealed a mysterious light. The 2 groups of people didn't slow down at all and charged head-on toward each other. The 2 groups were like 2 demonic beasts mercilessly charging at each other. The evil person with the scar stared at Mo Lehai. In his eyes, no one other than Mo Lehai existed. At this moment, it seemed like the earth itself was trembling, and the 2 sides got closer and closer. Just at the moment they were about to collide, Mo Lehai let out a laugh, then his right hand formed a fist and he threw a punch. This punch moved like the roaring wind that could collapse everything into nothingness, and it flew directly at the evil-looking man. They could hear the sound barrier breaking before the punch even closed in on the evil-looking man, and a powerful fist intent appeared within this punch. The evil-looking man's expression didn't change. He raised his right hand and pointed forward with his index finger. Then he quickly pointed forward with his middle finger, and in a flash, he did the same with all 5 fingers. Then his 5 fingertips gathered together to form a cone and pointed forward together. A soft, muffled sound suddenly came from both of them. Then a ripple spread out from the 2 of them. The ripple, however, only spread out 30 feet and dissipated at the edge of the military road, so it didn't damage any buildings. The two of them had to have very good control of their strength to ensure the shockwave was as small as possible. The evil-looking man's body shifted as the war horse below him let out a painful wail because all four of its legs were broken. Then the horse's body exploded, so the evil-looking man was forced to retreat 3 steps, and each of those 3 steps caused the ground to tremble. The person stared at Molehai and said, "10 collapse fist intent." Molehai's body also trembled, and he began to back up with his war horse as well. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he raised his right hand and pointed at Molehai. Wang Lin's use of power was very intricate and was able to cancel out a lot of the force for Molehai. Molehai took a deep breath as he stabilized his body. He then got off the war horse unscathed, and the contest between the two of them had been decided. Molehai smiled. The 6-fingered demon sword is only this much. The evil-looking man's gaze shifted from Molehai and fell on Wang Lin. He said, in a serious tone, "What is your name, foreigner?" Wang Lin looked at this person and didn't speak. The evil-looking man frowned. At this moment, the thin person beside him softly said, "His name is Wang Lin." Molehai's eyes narrowed as he looked at Wang Lin and the thin-looking man. The evil-looking man asked, "Oh? You guys know each other?" The thin-looking man looked at Wang Lin and slowly said, "He is my junior apprentice brother. Long time no see, brother Sun Dao. It looks like you have to go into closed-door cultivation for several years to recover from your serious injury," said Wang Lin. His voice was calm, so it was impossible to know if he was happy or angry. At the moment he saw Sun Dao, he realized that Sun Dao was injured, and this was a serious injury that even affected Sun Dao's origin soul. Although the injury had been forcibly suppressed, Sun Dao's cultivation had dropped from the mid-stage of ascendant to the peak of the late stage of soul transformation. Sun Dao took a careful look at Wang Lin and then the shock in his heart slowly calmed down. When he first saw Wang Lin, he naturally discovered that Wang Lin's cultivation had jumped 2 steps from the mid-stage of soul transformation to the peak of the late stage. Sun Dao slowly said, "Junior brother Wang, it looks like you had a fortunate encounter. But you have to be careful in the Sky Demon City because of the people from the Da Lu Sword sect. My injuries were caused by them." There was a hint of anger in his voice. This anger wasn't directed at Wang Lin but the Da Lu Sword sect. Wang Lin pondered a bit before slapping his bag of holding and taking out a bottle of pills. Although these pills wouldn't have much effect on Sun Dao, they represented Wang Lin's goodwill. He tossed the pills at Sun Dao and then rode forward on his war horse without saying a word. Molehai looked profoundly at the two of them before leading his people around the evil-looking man and catching up to Wang Lin. The evil-looking man coldly looked at the backs of Molehai and company and asked, "How is this person?" Sun Dao put away the pills, then he pondered a bit and said, "If I wasn't injured, I could kill him. Don't underestimate him. This Molehai has a total of 3 powerful spells. The first spell is the 10 collapse fist intent, the second is the 100 wave demon sea, and the third spell is something the demon emperor personally taught him, so it is very powerful." The evil-looking man sighed and said, "If you weren't injured, I'd be 100% confident in winning this competition." Sun Dao pondered a bit. Shortly after he said, "If I get the materials, I can refine a heavenly cloud pill, which can restore my cultivation to the early stage of ascendant for a short period of time." The evil-looking man nodded and said, "Don't worry about materials, I have already sent people to gather them." Then he changed the topic and asked, "How is your junior apprentice brother?" Sun Dao revealed a complex look before letting out a sigh and saying, "Strong. Very strong. Even when his cultivation was not at the peak of the late stage of soul transformation and only at the mid-stage, it was best not to provoke him." The evil-looking man's eyes narrowed. He had interacted with Sun Dao for a long period of time, and this was the first time Sun Dao had ever evaluated someone like this. On the military road, Molehai looked at Wang Lin and smiled. "Thanks, brother Wang, for the help earlier. Otherwise, my war horse would have turned into a pile of flesh and blood as well." Wang Lin shook his head. "That is but a small matter, brother Mo doesn't have to thank me." Molehai slowly said, "That person's name is Xiao, and his spell's power, the 6-fingered demon sword, is unpredictable. With your senior apprentice brother's help, he will be one of my main threats this time." They quickly moved along the military road, and after one incense stick of time, they stopped before a mansion. Although this place wasn't big, it had everything that was needed. It even had fake mountains and water. It was quite elegant. Wang Lin was living in the southern building right across from the fake mountain. Mo Lihai arranged 2 sergeants to be under Wang Lin's control before leaving to meet the Demon Emperor. He spoke to Wang Lin before he left and they agreed to drink together once he comes back. Wang Lin sat in the lotus position in his room. Aside from helping Mo Lihai, his other goal during this trip to the capital city was to get the position of Demon General. This place was the capital of Sky Demon Country, so experts were as common as clouds here. Only by making himself stand out among the others would it make it a lot easier for him to get the position of Demon General. Even Sun Dao's mid-stage ascendant cultivation was injured by someone and forced down to the peak of the late stage of soul transformation. He said that it was someone from the Da Lu Sword sect. There are more than 10 people from the Da Lu Sword sect who entered, and unless multiple people ganged up on Sun Dao, there is no way for him to be this injured. After pondering for a long time, Wang Lin took a deep breath. The reason he gave Sun Dao the pills was to send a message of good faith. Although they had their differences here, they were still, after all, from the same sect. When facing the threat of the Da Lu Sword sect, they couldn't fight against each other. After pondering for a long time, Wang Lin closed his eyes and began to cultivate. Mo Lihai returned at dusk, and his eyes were filled with joy. He chatted with Wang Lin over wine and they talked about various spells. Mo Lihai also told Wang Lin about the spells of several other demon generals. Time quickly passed, and in the blink of an eye, Wang Lin had spent 4 days in the Mo Mansion. He spent almost all his time converting demonic spiritual energy into celestial spiritual energy to make his foundation even more stable. Wang Lin didn't ask when the battle between the demon generals would start. He understood that when he is needed, Mo Lihai will ask for him. Therefore, Wang Lin was in no rush, and in addition to cultivation, he spent a lot of time pondering. What he was pondering about was the celestial slaughter art. After the slaughter in ancient demon city, Wang Lin's understanding of the celestial slaughter art became more profound. Wang Lin also spent the 3 months at the soul refining tribe like this. When he wasn't cultivating, he spent the rest of the time pondering about the celestial slaughter art. For him, a change in location wouldn't affect his mentality at all. Wang Lin's calmness caught the attention of the 2 sergeants assigned to him, and they gradually began to admire Wang Lin. In their view, for someone at Wang Lin's cultivation level to continue to work so hard to cultivate, he would definitely become a demon general in the future. Mo Lihai was extremely busy during this period of time. He left early almost every day and returned late. He went to meet various commander-in-chiefs and vice-commander-in-chief as well as friendly demon generals to exchange information. He could feel that the entire Sky Demon City was like a keg of explosives that will explode when the competition between the demon generals begin. Wang Lin quietly stayed in the Mo Mansion for 4 days, and after that, he stopped cultivating. He sat in the courtyard and his hands rapidly moved, forming seals. Each one of the seals contained the power of the celestial slaughter art. Wang Lin sat there for 7 days. At the start, the 2 sergeants calmly looked at Wang Lin from a distance, but soon the 2 started feeling a powerful frenzy of killing intent coming from inside their hearts. Their hearts trembled violently, and their eyes were bloodshot, revealing powerful killing intent. Their sanity was already gone. Just as this killing intent reached its limit and the 2 were about to explode, Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes, and his eyes were filled with clarity. When the 2 of them saw Wang Lin's eyes, it was as if cold water had been poured on their heads, and they immediately sobered up. Although they sobered up, a large amount of the cultivation inside their bodies disappeared. The 2 of them were filled with fear and never dared to watch Wang Lin cultivate again. The celestial slaughter art takes the path of slaughter to create life seals. The amount of life I have taken is not small, but don't I have much of this slaughter aura? There must be a reason. Wang Lin pondered as he carefully recalled every time he successfully used the celestial slaughter art. This video